What's going on, guys? It's Deathmonk here. Today I'm going to be talking about some rather interesting information that's been given to us on Fortnite's official X or Twitter account promoting Chapter 5 Season 2 of Fortnite. Now, the post that they've put up on their socials reads the following. Prepare thyselves, mere mortals. The gods have updated their celestial loading screen. So as you guys see, we've got a rather interesting image with quite a lot on it, actually, to be honest. First of all, we're going to be talking about the actual name of this season, which is going to be kicking off tomorrow from what I understand. It's going to be called Myths and Mortals. Now, I'm going to talk about what appears to be the majority of the characters and a few of the interesting background images. So, front of shot, we've got the god of thunder named Zeus. Now, as you guys can see, he appears to be holding some sort of one-armed SMG, which looks pretty cool, in his left hand there, and in his right hand, it's got a rather interesting thunder lightning type weapon, which is apparently going to be used as a mythic weapon from what we understand. Now, on to PV2 Private. Now, I'm not exactly sure how reliable this guy is, but we'll have to wait and see. But as you guys can see, he's got a rather interesting post which reads, Zeus currently has almost no more information on him, but his mythic is the lightning bolt. Now, this would obviously make sense considering this image that we got the other day actually does represent Zeus and the god of thunder, and there's lightning bolt there. But as you guys can see, it has 3 different attacks, apparently. All attacks you will fly in the air and target people, using a single strike of lightning, a strong cluster strike, or an area burst of lightning. Now, how that's going to work, I'm not 100% sure, but that's really interesting to think about there, guys. If we go back to that image that we just had up a moment ago, we've got, appears to be, if I'm not mistaken, I think this guy on the left here is Hades, who I think is another one of the Greek gods, from what I understand. And he appears to be having some sort of really interesting chain whip, what closely resembles the body of a snake. So that's really interesting. Now, going back to PV2 Private's Twitter account, apparently Hades will be a boss and you'll be able to hit you with green flames during his chain whip attacks. It can also teleport. You need to use a key that acts as a statue to fight the waves and the boss. He's found in a temple on the top floor. Now, this is the skin that was found within the one of the surveys or the in-game files, from what I understand. So that's really interesting there. And this is, of course, the promotional image that we got a couple of days ago. That was again posted on Fortnite's official socials. So that's really interesting to think about as well. On the right of the image here, we've also got Aphrodite, who I think, if I'm not mistaken, is the god of love, or the goddess of love, I should say. And she's got these rather interesting Icarus-like wings. Now, that is a really interesting ability to have, concerning that over the last few days, we actually got a rather interesting teaser given to us by Vice President of Epic Games, Mark Rain. Now, as you guys can see, Mark Rain, who is, like I say, guys, the Vice President of Epic Games, he actually went on to say, my word for Fortnite game, Chapter 5, Season 2 is wings. Now, of course, Aphrodite, as you guys can see from that image, also has wings, so that would obviously make sense. Also in the background on this left-hand image, just behind Hades here, we've also got Cerberus. Now, apparently we've got information on Cerberus, going from PV2 Private's Twitter account here. Now, as you guys can see, going back to that PV2 Private on X, it does actually read that Cerberus will be a boss next season with a new Cerberus shotgun, which will act like the tactical shotgun back in the days of Chapter 1, like we kind of already knew about. And it also apparently, he can actually spawn wolves, so we will be getting wolves in the next season, so that's really interesting to think about. As you guys can see, we've got wolves right here, we've got 2 wolves down here, so we can actually spawn them in. And interestingly, this skin, who appears to be running away from those wolves, has a rather interesting weapon on his person there. When that, what appears to be, if I'm not mistaken, is Poseidon's trident. So now, Poseidon, if I'm not mistaken, I think was one of the Greek gods that had something to do with water, from what I understand. So that's really interesting to think about as well. I think he may have mentioned about Poseidon briefly recently on his X account here. So these are the wolves that Cerberus can spawn in, so that I just pointed out just a second ago. Poseidon, who appears to be using another already existing skin, so that's really interesting there. Fortnite Chapter 5 Season 2, there's almost nothing on Poseidon, none. In the playtest, there was a mythic trident. Now, I know what you guys are probably thinking. This image here, of course, came from Aquaman. So, it'll probably be similar to this, but not exactly the same. But that's really interesting to think about. Everyone is speculating that this could be the Poseidon skin for Fortnite, so a take on Poseidon with the fish stick skin, which is currently in map at the moment. So that, again, that's really interesting to think about as well. So we'll have to wait and see how that's going to play a part. Now I've also got what appears to be a really large temple. Now this is most likely going to be where Hades, or if not Cerberus, could be hanging out here. So again, that's really interesting to think about. I've also got what appears to be a really large building with what appears to be a very, very large statue of appears to be one of the Greek gods with wings and some sort of weapon in his hands right there. So very interesting to think about, guys. Let me know what you guys' views and opinions are of this in the comments box down below. Keen to hear what you guys' views and opinions are. If we do get any trailers or anything, I'll let you guys know. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget notification bells on the same more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, peace.